Episode 61. We are in a fun spot. Regulus is getting kind of destroyed, but at the same time not, due to his inability to get destroyed due to his time for himself being kind of stopped, which puts us in an interesting spot with him, with likely having to come from the inside somehow or do something. So like the thing with him is like he could have like a button on him, right? And we could just gotta like tap it, and then it just like he starts ticking again. Or it could be like some sort of like magic type thing that we need to do to allow it to like undo itself almost. Or what I think is most likely is we can reactivate it by causing like damage on something internally, because even though like everything's kind of stopped itself, I feel like still if you come from the inside, it typically isn't something that you can kind of like just avoid in general. Like if we just go grab his heart, like Subaru always has happened to him. Like I don't know how much about like this just won't, nothing will just happen to it. But I guess it also could just be, even though if we do that and it causes damage, he doesn't like feel it or have any of that stuff until it gets started again. So I don't know. I guess we're just gonna have to play it out and see what they figure out, because they're smarter than me, so they'll likely end up getting it. And then we also saw a lot with Priscilla and her anger that's coming from the things, and the knowledge that Sirius seems to have, likely recounting stories and things that she's heard of, tales she's been told, or wherever she's gotten this information from, of things that for whatever reason resonate really strong with Priscilla. Maybe are things that have dictated, altered the reasons why she acts out and does what she does, and is the type of person she is within her own life. Also could just be things that are important and relevant regarding maybe who her family is and where she's kind of come from, people that she's known and stuff. There could be more to it, or it could be like general fears and concerns that she has in the future and doesn't want to turn out like these people maybe did, and it's something that's being brought up. I don't know exactly where Sirius is going and what the relevance or what these stories exactly do mean, but they are something really important when it comes to Priscilla for whatever that reason is. So she kind of let her guard down a bit. She got a bit angry. She just charged at it without, strategically thinking and fighting the way that she should. And I believe that she's capable of, and got strike down, unfortunately. But I don't think that's the end of her at all. And I'm excited to see what more happens with her. The other groups are kind of not really here just yet. We didn't get anything really from Wilhelm and Gar for any of them. We haven't gotten anything from Julius and their fight with Greed, and Al has arrived and will be going against Capella, so that's fun too. So I guess we have some stuff to look forward to. I do wonder if they're going to flop to the ones that we haven't, and we're just going to kind of like alternate like that, or if they're going to tell the two stories that they've kind of set up already and then redirect us into the ones that they haven't told to end us off. I think that that could be likely too, which might work better for pacing reasons and for not like forgetting all the things that have been kind of presented to us. But we'll wait it out and see. I'm very excited. I hope you are as well. If you like it, I'll hit the like and subscribe. You want to feel free to stick around for the discussion. Leave any comments about this particular series. Let's get going with episode 61 of ReZero. Backstory of Liliana. She's been doing it. Damn, her mom is fine. Describes the family in general. We will drink and we will sing and stars. Oh. Nice to see she refined her skills a lot, you know? But a song came to her. God. Look who wants to sleep now. Hmm. It's like the third mention of Reed.
生意気を言う子には罠んかかったウサギに肉はお預けやぞ。
Why would you do that? That's not gonna end well, brother. Full of life and, and optimism. Wonder where it all went. Oh, just 3 of them too. Is it just a necklace or does it hold something?
それはとても傲慢なあり方。アイリスとイバラの王も真っ青ですね。
Just keep pushing and pushing.
ある浅ましき輩よ。その悪地に万死であってもあがなえぬ。そう怒らないでください。憤怒だなんてこの世で最も言うべき感情。人の心は常に喜びで満たされているべきなのです。だから私は剣能によって皆の恐
Alright, stop being so closed off. Just trying to connect everyone. Are you dumb? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, they all connected.
本気で誰かと分かち合いたいなら黙って私の歌を聴きやがれってなもんです。
That's my music will bring us together. Liliana, don't you have a job? Why are you still on this side?
都合の悪いことを黙らせんとした。わらわではなくこの歌目に通用せなんだがよほど答えたか。いやいやいやいやいやそんなバカな。
Acts like you can understand her emotions. Unbelievable.
貴様は今耳心地の悪い言葉を聞いた。故に激高した。ただそれだけの安い憤怒よ。私とあの人の憤怒、そんな安っぱくあれば憤怒は私が夫からあの人からもらった唯一無二の贈り物。夫から献上されたのが怒りだけとは笑われる。
Wow, 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 wow. Then why am I not one of them? What is this? I don't even think he has ever. Oh, it's one-sided, brother. Nice to see, even though she had the little moment where it all got to her. Oh, we lost it all. You shall watch as you get burned. I'll show you a real flyer's use. She did say everything in the world is designed to work for her. The greatest you've ever seen. I really like the idea of having a song like playing in the background by another character be the background music to the actual battle itself. hardships. Hmm. Ah. First time in a long time. You're a mess. But that's okay. And how you notice is significantly better lyrics than the song she was singing at the beginning of the series. Allow others to be touched the way that you felt you were. And she's reached them. Can't lose now. Nah. Okay, I was gonna say. Another piece broken. Good for her.
さどうかしら。この少女哀れむ心、それこそがあなたの心に芽生えた。
くどい。
It's so fucking cool. Then while you're no longer connected with anyone,
たいものを焼き、切りたいものを切る。
of course.
この私の痛みを
Nope.
あなたを
知ったことか。貴様は妄言を抱えたまま。
The rest for your husband, brother.
死ぬがいい。
Liliana?
そろそろ限界ですかね。いろいろありましたが、総合的に楽しい人生でした。
But you won't be alone this time. Ah! Look who decided to show.
大丈夫かいリリアナ。
キリタカさん、土下してたんですか？
アジュに追われ錯乱して逃げ惑っていたが、君の歌で我に返った。
私すごく眠たいんで、ちょっと寝ます。もうほんと限界。でも死にませんから。
リリアナ。
これは直接言うつもりはないけれど、あなたの歌姫でよかった。
でもって獅子座を意味するレーグルスの語源は小さな王と、あともう一つコルレオニス。体の時間が止まってるってことは変化しないってことだ。怪我もしないし水に濡れたりもし
Look at him. Perfect.
止まってるから。
あのさ、君の考えがどうとか全然興味がないんだけど。
Who said you would listen?
本当にあそこが
小さな王が君臨する花嫁たちの小さな王
Will likely hold some sort of key here. Yeah, they haven't even moved.
あるはず。花嫁の人数か距離、何らかの条件が必ず。頼むぜエミリア。花嫁たちを小さな王国から連れ出してくれ。
To get a little ahead of myself here, I do wonder, thinking about it now, the relevance of the wives within Regulus's scenario. I talked about how, at the beginning, how I think it would make sense to go from within as opposed to, you know, harming his body from the outside and trying to do something. But the wives being so, I guess, obedient would be the word to everything that he says. And my previous assumptions of things kind of feeling like, or the possibility that the freezing of time could be like he's just being used as like this object, and it's like somebody's actually pulling the strings from like behind the scenes, could technically kind of be true in the sense that he's still operating as himself, but maybe utilizing his wives in that sort of way. So maybe any harm and things that is kind of done to them are like would actually negatively affect him. Maybe like it's some twisted fucked up thing, which might not be the case, but like, is there a scenario where he's able to do something to, like, I could just be spewing some bullshit, but like, is there a chance that his actual time being frozen is only in the sense of like his physical body, but not necessarily his, like we know everything else can still continue because he's able to, you know, speak and do everything else, like his brain is functioning in some sort of way. But is it more of he's able to transfer like the life essentially of all of himself into like his wives or these other sort of people, and he's able to like still continue to like live on as this being that doesn't take any damage or anything, because these other people are the ones who end up holding what he actually is as a person, like if that makes any sense. I don't know, I'm just trying to think of like where their overall connection to him would be, and especially the concerns and questions that were given towards the back end of like what the numbers represent, like outside of just, you know, him keeping track and order and it's easier for him, if there's any more relevance to be listed on top of that. I don't know. I can't pinpoint anything though. We'll just wait out and see. I'm assuming we find out next week, but I'm assuming the drawing attention to them and the lack of overall movement in forcibly making them still, because then like wouldn't that make a lot more sense for like you're not allowed to smile, you're not allowed to show emotion, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do like whatever, because maybe if it is like a part of him taking over or being one within them, it would cause more and more aging on his part, like if he were to ever become one again or become unfrozen, if that were to be it. Like, I do wonder also if that happens, if he just like starts back where he left off, or if he just fully takes on all the aging and stuff that kind of came about with it. None of this actually has to be connected either. I could just be saying a bunch of dumb stuff, and he could just like them to literally be the way that he's kind of set it up to me. It could also be that, but I don't know. I feel like there's maybe a little something more to it, so I'm trying to think a little bit into that area, but I don't know. The rest of the episode is focused around the fight with Wrath and Liliana and Priscilla, and I think they take a intriguing direction onto it. Instead of utilizing a character like Priscilla, who likely was going to win this fight regardless and completely outmatches this other person, we take advantage of utilizing a background in the sense of like Liliana, so side character, but not like somebody who's a fighter or anything, and we make them the most important person throughout this, for allowing Priscilla to actually do the kill without hurting other people or without doing anything, and calming those kind of that are being taken over by Wrath here. So I really like that sort of idea. We get to expand and flesh out Liliana a lot more as a character and learn a lot more for her. And while I do think I would have preferred Priscilla to be that one, of course, it's clear the author has like other intentions for when we're really going to like expand and make Priscilla as relevant as needed. So this just isn't the time for it, would be my guess, because we're still dropping like little hints and things that are of course going to be relevant and come back up at some other point. So I think it's definitely necessary to note at least that she's not going to that this wasn't intended, of course. All right, it's not just like an overall missed opportunity. There is something bigger, I think, like at play that is being set up by him. But I like having that with Liliana be the back, or be the center point throughout this, right? It's not even Wrath, it's not even giving like a backstory or anything in regards to that. It's full out just here, this is a girl who's gone through her struggles, who's gone through things of wanting to like be seen for what she is, and wanting to, you know, just live out life and experience all this stuff while doing the thing that she absolutely loves to do, and coming to find her calling overall and be appreciated for it, to having the stages set for the biggest moment that she could ever think of, from going from playing in small little areas of towns, to not feeling like she's, you know, able to go to these bigger areas, to not being able to face the fact that your family's kind of moved on and just let you do your own thing and don't really think about you, and replaced you essentially in a sort of way, to then be singing in these big cities, to now being on the biggest stage that you could possibly think of, in the most crucial and important matter, with lives literally in your own hand. I think it does a good job at portraying that, and having utilization of somebody else or another character be the actual background and music that is being displayed within the actual fight is pretty fun too. Not exactly like the tone or anything, of course. I think I was getting like, I assumed we would get like a really like badass moment or something, like, or not badass moment, but like soundtrack or like something to back this, but it ended up working because it's thematically like fitting with what we were going within the context of the episode, and the characters kind of involved. But I just feel like Priscilla's so cool, like she's so cool, so having that, you know, that be as like grand or epic as I think like I personally would have wanted there is underwhelming for that sense, but it works within what they're trying to do. Here's the backstory. Her mom is a fucking beautiful, my goodness, absolutely love it. And they're just having fun. They're just having a great old time singing for the small little people. She's adorable here, sitting here trying to think of songs and practice and get better. She's so bad, of course, at this point. Little connection of the stars, of course. Getting pulled away. Look at this beautiful city. I want to go play here. I want to go be here. Nope, we're not allowed to. We're not allowed to go to those sort of places. We have to stay away. Mention of Reed again. Mention of Reed actually twice throughout this. I still have questions of is Reed a person that we are going to meet at some point? Clearly a historical figure, so it wouldn't really make sense, but we've seen weirder things with the way that people age within this universe. So let's be honest, like it could technically be a thing. And if not, is he somebody at least that we're going to learn about, or is he just utilized as a note of like a historical figure that of relevance that will be continued to be mentioned, like a kind of inside, not joke, but like thing within this universe that like if you're from it, you're kind of aware of who he is and the things that he's done and the reasons why he gets claims for being a hero and everything. It could just be that, and doesn't have to be anything more. But there is, I think, 2 different mentions to my knowledge of Reinhardt up to this, not Reinhardt, Garf mentioning him, and now 2 or 3, something like that, with LILIANA bringing note to him. So I'd be intrigued. She gets angry, she throws a fit, and she runs away. You know why? Because she's going to be king of the bards. The jewelry breaking is intriguing for Priscilla. It's seemingly like a protection that she has placed over her where she doesn't actually take damage, but the things, whether it's accessories on her or things she holds close to her or things that she values potentially, or whatever the exact like technicality we're going for here is with it, are the things that take those blows and take that damage instead. Every time that she ends up getting hit, one of these things get destroyed or ruined, but nothing actually happens or harms her directly. So is it extra layers that she's able to put on? If that's the case, why do you not just wear like the most insane like full suit of armor something to protect you and never really get hit? It's kind of OP if you do that, right? But maybe there are like specifics behind it, like only these ones, or maybe it's things that are handed down or things that have like something kind of inscribed within them, or it's a family type of thing. I don't know, but it's operated and it works within a way that protects her, of course, as everything does. The way that her sword works, the way that her attacks and her abilities work, everything is revolving around a way that benefits and works for her. So of course this has to work for her. It's a very high price. It's like replacing your life in a way. It's a valuable thing. It's something that's almost on par with what you would value your own life at or something. I love LILIANA just turning on it. Are you stupid? You think this is just how you do it? You just share emotions. You do all of this. You listen to my song. And also just the battle that we already talked about last week, but the back and forth between Priscilla and Sirius about one, you know, having the closed heart, and Sirius's entire job being to open that up for those around her, but utilizing it in more of a negative sort of way. Calling out her wrath as being a complete cheap emotion is something that, of course, is going to get you angry. A gift from my husband. The 8 husbands is crazy. What the fuck do you mean by that, Priscilla? She definitely doesn't pay attention or care for any of them, right? She definitely doesn't. Yeah, she got all these gifts and stuff, so she just accepted it. More attacks, more damage being taken, more jewelry being destroyed. What a fucking terrible sight. Let me show you how this shit's done. And look at that. Destroying it, attacking exactly what she wants to. Stage is set, go do your fucking thing, and giving her that perfect opportunity for it. And of course, as she remembers, as she knows this is the biggest stage she'll ever go on to, she must remember a way to connect, a way to reach everybody, even at the farthest distances, the struggle, the journey that she's gone on, which I think is really beautiful, the way that they're able to display this. All the goods, all the fun times that she has of like eating and exploring and doing all these new things, to the horrible times that she has to go through. People aren't listening to her music. She's struggling, not making any money, and she's getting lost, getting attacked. Everything's going bad. Like really cute, just spinning around and doing that. The struggles of an up-and-comer, you know, trying to make a living, especially in music and everything. She has to firsthand experience that. And all of that crumbles, of course, the moment that you end up having to face your family. You have to put on this and you're afraid to actually display who you are, seeing them laughing, seeing them be happy, seeing them with a new child, almost essentially replacing you, and knowing that they've continued to live on and continue to be happy and live their lives doing exactly what they said, while you set out to do something grand and big, haven't achieved it yet, not getting to that point, and you have almost nothing to show for it. It's almost proving them to be entirely right, and they're showing that they didn't even need you within their life to continue like this. It's a devastating thing, of course, for her. It's realistically the only like real sad thing that comes directly out of her backstory here. I mean, outside of her like almost starving, of course, and probably stunting, you know, growth and everything else that potentially could come from it. We end up getting that. Another mention of Reed, Flugel getting a mentioned here. We know Brother got a tree, but I don't think we really know too much outside of that with him. And taking the liberty of telling people their stories. I'm no more of a thief. What even, like, what do I do? What even is my job? At this moment, being able to wake up, being able to find yourself in a space where for the first time you feel like you've been granted something and seen something so beautiful. This is a place essentially that you should have died, right? You should have just lost it all. You're at a complete loss for who you are. You have nothing going for you. You got no food. You're struggling to find water and drink and continue on. Everything's completely weak, but you had this enlightenment, right? You had this moment finally of clarity where you're able to look up and you're able to see the peacefulness, you're able to see the beauty that kind of surrounds you, and being able to come out of the darkness that you found yourself in to see this beautiful scenery, to see this light, to hear the wonderful sounds of nature and the things that kind of surround you and make up what is your surrounding, to finally feel like she found a purpose or finally found a direction within her own life. It granted her that sort of salvation that she's looking for the first time, of course, bringing you to tears when that happens. And for the first time in a long time, probably, a song has come to you. Not a song that you're taking from a story and a thing of other people, but a song that is one of your own, a song that connects and resonates on a deep, deep level with you, that rejuvenates you to the point that you end up having life be kind of injected directly into you again. And it's beautiful. It's wonderful. She gives the performance of a lifetime to meet anybody or reach everybody as far as it can come, trying to turn them back over and over, remembering all the good times of being able to come into the city, the good things that Kiritaka said. And he does a good job here too, right? Understanding the importance of her and wanting to share that with everybody else, but at the same time, having a care for her, her struggle, her journey, everything that she's kind of gone on, and still wanting her for her, as opposed to just her own talents and the things that she ends up having, and wanting to share that and allow other people to see that, because he's, of course, proud and happy and wanting other people to be touched in the way that he actually was as well. It's a beautiful thing. They have a really sweet relationship, I'd say. Look at her glow as she's able to reconnect, be able to wipe off all of the effects the series is having, and Priscilla can go out of her way and finally open up and say, fuck it, it's time to stop fucking around. Finally, we lose it with their hair, letting us get a nice little fan servicey moment, of course, for it. Trying to pull out last minute by bringing Tina out. Yeah, that ain't gonna do shit. Such a sick attack of her just instantly. Disgusting speed cutting through her. Not even wanting to listen to her speeches or anything else that she has to say. It burns those I want to. It cuts those that I cut. Like, whatever she wants, everything operates. You understand my pain? I don't give a fuck about it. I'm not connected to you in any way. None of these other people are. I have no reason to hold back. I have no reason to do any of that, and sends her off. Now, the question is Sirius dead? Probably not, if we're being honest. However, I strongly do think the series is done for the season, at least. So if Sirius is actually dead, then there's that. But what happens to the witch factor and everything, we still got to figure that out. You know, will Priscilla be chosen as the next dwelling, or will there be somebody else? I don't know. Will it just kind of go down in the water with her until somebody comes and finds her? Are we going to create some sort of superhuman and somehow she's going to like shrink down there and connect with Typhoon, and it's just going to be like the craziest sort of thing? I don't know. It could be interesting, but I don't think so. I almost essentially feel like we're going to find ourselves in a spot where she isn't, and then it'll be relevant, of course, because she can come back at some other future point in time or whatever, just because we don't directly get to see like a dead body or any indication that could be the case by just dropping her into the water. But I don't know. I do think, speaking on what I just said about her potentially connecting with Typhoon, if that's not even the case, I do think it would be extremely poetic to have somebody like Regulus die in the place where the previous Witch of Greed ended up dying, right? So having both forms of greed here essentially go down in the same exact space would be a wonderful, interesting thing. It was fun. It was a fun life. Something about characters like facing death, but at the same time kind of not in a goofy way, and just accepting it is always so fun. And Kiritaka out of nowhere, of course, being cured finally, able to come through, brought back to his senses and happy to finally be with her again. So glad I'm your songstress. And of course, the ending sequence, which we started off with, of Subaru recounting exactly how he gets to the point of where he ends up getting to, and what he realizes with Regulus and his own authority and everything, and what he's capable of doing. Regulus is like, I don't even care about my my right to listen. Fuck it at this point. Even his authority has its limits to it. The number of wives or his distance from them. There must be some condition. So it also could just similarly be, okay, so idea then, back on what I said at the beginning, what if we're playing into a similar thing where we needed Liliana for curing these other people to not be kind of consumed by wrath, and being able to take them out of that? What if Regulus's thing is kind of just like something about what he's capable of doing with his authority is spread across his wives, but the further distance, as Subaru kind of says, he gets from them and no longer connects or works with them, so he's able to like speed up or be aging in a sort of way that he has to be sort of around them at all points, and all times, to, or at least around one of them, to allow it to be in effect. Because if that's the case, then we just have to isolate him. If that's not the case, maybe there's something regarding the numbers and everything with them, and the more wives he's able to get, the further like distance and things he's able to be in control of, or maybe the more that he has to take on are things that kind of allow this to be restarted and continue. Like he's on a certain, each of them allow like a certain amount of time or something. Like maybe there's just some weird thing that goes on with that, and that's his fascination with taking in so many. Probably none of those, but I don't know. Just thoughts. Fun episode. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked it all, like and subscribe. You may feel free to check out the video and channel. Leave comments. So this is our series. I'll be back for episode 62 or episode 12 of season 3 next week. I hope you guys have a great one. Peace.